Hi there everyone, and this is Krissy from InTheStars by Krissy.com, and in this video we are going to be having a quick look on the full moon in the sign of Cancer na mangyayari on February 18, 2022. This is going to be occurring around 6 a.m. or so in the Philippines basically. And basically yung energy nitong full moon nito can be quite dramatic and can be quite powerful all at the same time, kaya tayo nagbibigay ng breakdown because the effects of this can be quite erratic for a lot of people. It can create a lot of big surprises, big drama, or a lot of emotional upheavals for a lot of people basically. Not only that, yung sun is also in a conjunction with Pluto basically. And ito yung nagbibigay ng factor that creates a lot of power into this full moon. And at the same time, we also have Venus and Mercury retrograde all as well. So this create an energy wherein there could be some form of karmic situation coming up, or issues about the past that might need to get addressed, or we might want to work things out or something like that. So it really depends on what you are going through, but it's not all the time na this is all about relationships, though it is a possibility that it might have to do with relationships. It could be a decision that you had in the past as well, can be triggered. It could be a business endeavor or certain actions that you may have taken or we may have not basically. But definitely it has an issue relating to the past na nag-show up for this energy in place. Now, whenever the moon is in the sign of Cancer, things can be quite emotional, can be quite dramatic, and our feelings and emotions and intuition really gets heightened up. And alam mo yun, even sa normal moon in Cancer, this actually happens. What more whenever there is a full moon? And scientists already have, proven that whenever there is a new moon, whenever there is a full moon, whenever there are eclipses and stuff like that, there's always an energy na influences people to be very, very emotional, very impulsive. They can act in certain things na hindi nila usually tinitake action on. So we can expect people to act in certain ways that might be uncalled for, I would say. So you might need to keep that in mind as we enter that full moon phase as well. It's not always a bad thing, I would say. Impulses can be quite strong. We can be very impulsive, and yung drive natin for adventure and just pushing things out and making things happen is very strong. And it's not, alam mo yun, hindi naman siya supposed to be a bad thing. Sometimes having that push in itself can be quite good, and it could be something that we actually needed, alam mo yun, to move forward with life, to get things done and stuff like that. So it's not always a bad thing, okay? So minsan we needed a push, we tend to control things, we tend to control our actions, we tend to control what we say to people, what we post on social media and stuff like that. But this could be an element wherein we just need to show up, and do something, regardless of what other people might say or do. And we might be getting real of what we truly want and who we really are. And especially nowadays, nowadays in the social media, everything is being edited, like Photoshop. TikTok has a lot of filters and stuff like that. Even I use this filter quite a lot in my videos and in my stuff like that. But just like now, I am recording this video without any filters and stuff like that. But just being real and talking to you guys like a sit down talk and stuff like that. So there is an element of being real and showing what we truly are, who we really are to people. So nagiging very strong yung nature na ganito, you know, on the collective level, on a personal level, and stuff like that. So it comes in very strongly. Not to mention na, alam mo yun, Sun conjunct Pluto, this is like the Sun is actually burning Pluto. So there is a form of combustion na tinatawag natin in astrology. So it can be, alam mo yun, it can be an element wherein our impulses is very strong, or we are given to temptation, sort of. So there's going to be like a battlefield on what we truly want, what do we need, what do we desire, what we are lusting for, and stuff like that can be coming into place all at the same time as well. So there's going to be various elements of those kinds of things when it comes to this energy. Also, the Sun and Moon, Sun and Pluto energy can be an element of domination, controlling, and stuff like that, diba? So, like I mentioned earlier, this is about, alam mo yun, not really focusing on control issues, not really focusing on what we should do because that is the right thing to do, because that is wrong, that is right, and stuff like that. We tend to get bothered with other people's comments, basically, or what other people will think, what will other people say. So this is about getting real of what you really want. And at the same time, when it comes to our emotions, this can be an element wherein we show people what we truly feel, or we act in a way wherein we just, we just get real with what we truly feel. Like, if I love someone, I'm not going to hide it any longer, that kind of thing. But at the same time, if you're trying to resist to get angry towards someone, but, darating yung point na parang someone keeps bursting your bubble, and darating siya sa point na parang your bubble gets burst and sasabog siya. And that can actually trigger some form of annoyances, like you might get annoyed and stuff like that. So there are other issues like that. So this full moon energy has a good side and a bad side to it, lalo na since yung Mars is actually squaring Neptune. So this can create a situation na parang we might take action on certain things pero hindi natin siya pag-iisipan. We are acting upon our feelings. We're not really thinking of, the things that we are doing, basically. Even though you might tell yourself that you have thought it through. It's not all the time that you really thought about it, Or maybe you think that you are thinking about a certain thing. You're making a sound decision, you would say. Pero, alam mo yon, at the end of the day, parang mapapaisip ka pa rin na, ito ba ang dapat gawin or itong isa? Alam mo yun? You might end up choosing the wrong choice to make, but you might also choose the correct one. It really does not matter. I would say na parang whatever choice that you make, whatever it is that you do, it's actually meant to happen. For good or for bad man siya, it's something that is meant to happen Kasi you have maybe controlled yourself for far too long. Maybe you hide yourself, or you have, tried to pretend far too long. And this is the time for you to, show up out there to the world and tell people that this is me. Whether you like what you see or not, this is me. This is the real me. And when it comes to feelings naman, you might get tempted on something that you have felt before. I use the word tempted even though it's not really supposed to be a bad thing. like I said, you're just being real regardless kung ano yung nararamdaman mo. Whether this is about for a love concern, a family situation, or whether it's for business. Though, if it is for business and career, things can be quite tricky because of all of that retrograde energy and Mars square Neptune. I would say na you might need to think about that if you are going to start a business during this time. But when it comes to feelings, when it comes to feelings and taking action on certain things na have been prolonged, pero kailangan na talaga nilang mailabas. Ito na talaga yung time to do so, and you should not be afraid of taking action. You should not be afraid of taking any form of risk, basically. Yung energy. Sinisipon ako. But anyways, may ganun yung element natin ngayon, no? And remember na itong Cancer energy is a sign na likes to linger on to the past as well. Like, it does not want to move forward as well. So, marami din tayong mga kailangan pag-isipan during this time, during this full moon. And it's not just about pag-iisipan mo siya, but it's really more of you come to realize it. You come to notice it. May malalaman ka deep inside of you. Like, ma-realize mo na, ito pala, na ganyan pala, ay, ganito pa pala yung naramdaman ko, and all of those kinds of things. Did you make the right decision? Did you make the wrong decision? What is it that you did not do before? What is it that you did before? And how is this creating an impact in your life right now? And paano mo siya dadalhin in the future? Or gusto mo pa ba to dalhin in the future? Marami tayong mga kailangan pag-isipan, and all of that has, parang silang may back and forth energy with the past and to the future as well, regardless if this is a relationship, a karmic relationship, or a family concern, or a money situation, because Mercury and Venus can, rule trade or can rule the media all at the same time. So it's either of those things. And remember that Mercury is actually in the sign of Aquarius as well. So this is about really, putting things in forward motion, even though it's retrograde, but alam mo yun, eventually magdadirect din siya. So parang, you're having that pause right now because things are moving forward. Kaya nga siya nagkaroon ng pause, para bigyan ka ng chance to think about whether are you sure that this is the right path to make. Maybe you need to think about certain things. Baka may naiwan ka, baka may hindi ka nagawa. Alam mo yon, all of those kinds of things. So marami tayong mga reflection, a lot of things that, binibigyan tayo ng opportunity basically to redo something, to reset something. A last chance to be real and to show a certain person what you truly feel, so alam mo yun, for me, a lot of people are quite afraid of taking action whenever there is a retrograde, but minsan, alam mo yun, minsan doing something or taking action during a retrograde is actually going to be good. Lalo na if nagpropalong ka na, no? Alam mo yun? Nagpo-procrastinate ka na ng, alam mo yun, ng sobrang tagal and stuff like that. That's not really gonna be helping you. Oops, medyo lobat na ako. Anyways, so this is going to be a time of really moving forward, and showing what we truly are to people is going to be a big deal, and it's something that hindi mo lang siya sariling realization, people are going to know it, and the past is going to come up into your life, and that is, to be expected, as something normal, pero hindi siya para bumalik ka sa past. And I'm not really just talking about relationship itself, but dadalhin mo ba yung past sa future mo, or are you going to stay stagnant all your life? Eventually, whether we like it or not, we need to move forward with our life. We need to move on with our life. Whether dadalhin mo yung past na to the future, whether you're going to learn a mistake or a lesson from the past, there's something that you needed to do. And any form of stagnancy that you have placed on yourself, maybe you have cursed yourself that hindi ka magpa-progress, hindi ka magiging successful in life and stuff like that. This is something that you will need to address in finding solutions, finding a way paano mo siya mababypass is yung element nitong energy nito. But at the same time, like I said, this Mars square Neptune can create elements then of, you know, nothing is without a cost, you know. You need to make an effort over something, you need to pay for something, you need to let things go to get something, you know. So parang siyang karmic situation, yin and yang and stuff like that, all of those kinds of things. And it also will prepare us to what security means for us. Remember, malapit na rin mag-invisible si Saturn kasi papunta na si Sun kay Aquarius. So pag nangyari yun, malapit na rin makumbas si Saturn, and that will lessen our security. So if you're into rituals as well, I would highly suggest to do a lot of protection rituals, because pag weak si Saturn, our protection, our psychic protection and all of kinds of protections gets weakened as well. So that is also something that you might need to think about as well. Anyways, thank you guys for watching and tuning in with me. Pasensya na, nasa mobile lang ako nagre-record right now. I don't really have time to go to the computer with a webcam. But anyways, thank you guys. If you like this video, please do subscribe and share this with your friends and family if they're into astrology and stuff like that. Anyways, let me know how this full moon works out for you, and if you'd like to book a reading with me, you can do that by going to my website in the stars by Krissy.com, and you can also scan my shop right there or in my Shopee. All the links will be down below the description of this video, and I'll see you again on the next update. Bye!